Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing the emergency scenario faced by the indigenous Australian community of Yuendumu, focusing on the issue of flooding and water scarcity. Our group have the four members: Su Pangeng, Jia Xuanpeng, Xi Wenzhu, and Si Tongdeng. We will walk you through the critical analysis of those situations, theoretical frameworks, best practice, and potential design solutions that could elevate the community's challenging. Let's begin. We have the four parts: background, set analysis, inhabitant analysis, and the series methods and frameworks. First, I will introduce the Yuendumu's situation. Yuendumu is an indigenous community located in the Central Australia. The area experienced two major emergencies: flooding during the seasonal rains and tyrannical water scarcity during the dry season. Those opposing problems create a unique challenge for the resident. Our aim is to explore how design and emergency management can address both those issues simultaneously. And Yuendumu is located about 219 kilometers northwest of Alice Springs, in a region classified as arid to semi-arid, with limited access to water sources. The community relies on boiled water for everyday needs. However, extreme water fluctuations make those unreliable. Heavy rains also trigger flash floods, further disrupting daily life. And the emergencies here include the frequent flash floods, which damage the infrastructure, and the long-term water scarcity that impacts the community's health, agriculture, and overall sustainability. Those issues have compounded over time due to the effect of climate changes, making it essential to develop more sustainable long-term solutions. And floodings can also destroy homes, roads, and essential services like power and sanitation. When the water rises, entire sections of the communities can become inaccessible, cutting off emergency service and making daily activities like getting food or healthy care almost impossible. And the water scarcity presents in quite dry challenges. The lack of reliable drinking water leads to some issues like increased disease and complications in food preparation. As water becomes more scarce, agriculture activities also suffer, which impact the food availability. Now we will discuss the theoretical frameworks guiding our approach to this problem. Environmental justice is central to addressing the inequality experienced by indigenous communities here like Yuendumu. And we think the recent series is of the vital here, focusing on how communities can adapt and thrive amid tyrannical environmental stresses. Finally, we incorporate principles of the sustainable design to create solutions that respect both the environment and the community. One of the most important aspects of the developing a solution for Yuendumu is the cultural sensitivity. It is critical that any plan include input from the indigenous leaders and respect their deep connection to the land and water. Working with the community ensures that any interventions we propose are culturally appreciated and can be sustainably integrated into their way to life. And this is our methodologies. The first is the participant design, engaging the community members in the decisions making process, ensure the emergency response is cultural appreciated. And then is the GIS map, used to analyze the topographical and hydrological data, helping design flooding-resistant infrastructure. And then is the risk assessed models. Those models identify the vulnerable area and the population, alone for target interventions that reduce the risk of flooding and water scarcity. And then is the best practice about the architecture. In terms of architecture, we can look at the example like the indigenous house on Bardu Island. Those homes are designed with the local environment in mind, use the materials that withstand both heat and floods. A similar approach could be used in Yuendumu, with building designed to minimize food damages while retaining heat during the cooler months.
Hello, the part 2 is set analysis. The climate in Yuendumu is hot and dry. Rainfall is mainly centered at the beginning and the end of the year. The average rainfall for the year is 350 millimeters, and there is a clear division between the dry and rainy seasons. This climate has many effects on the living of the local people. Its high temperatures limit outdoor activities and increase the risk of heat stress, leading to a rise in energy consumption. Drought makes growing hard, water shortage and cost of living increases. To solve these problems, we can build shading facilities, grow drought-resistant plants, and install rainwater harvesting and drainage systems. We can also design energy-efficient buildings using solar energy, which not only improve the microclimate of the environment, but also reduce the temperature, foster living quality, community interaction, and sustainable development. Yuendumu, topography has significant ups and downs, and the change in slope offers natural drainage. When it rains, water rapidly collects in the low-lying sites, while the uplands stay dry. This also affects the water source and soil type in different sites, which in turn affects plant growth. The design can utilize these natural advantages by installing rainwater harvesting systems to improve water management efficiency. In terms of transport design, roads should be paved smoothly to ensure safety. Buildings should also be placed on the high ground so that buildings on the low ground can also get enough sunlight through rational layout. To reduce the risk of landslides and flooding, building on the slopes and low-lying sites should be avoided. Besides, we can set up shelter facilities in the upland sites to offer safety for the people. Yuendumu is also rich in flora and fauna resources, so the design should focus on ecological protection. Drought-resistant plants can be chosen for greenings, and pathogens can be set up for wildlife to avoid conflict with human behavior. However, overgrown plants may take up space for activities, and the presence of some animals may also impact on traffic safety. So we need to consider these types of effects in this design. Yuendumu is also faced with many potential dangers, such as flooding, traffic jams, bushfires, and water quality issues. The design need to enhance the drainage system. The use of water-resistant materials for roads to ensure that the key transport routes stay open at all time. Additionally, the installation of fire breaks and fire-resistant plants can reduce the risk of bushfires. For the problems of salty water, we can reduce salt build-up through rainwater harvesting and treatment systems. To keep our inhabitants safe, we also have to draw up detailed emergency response plans, uh, including evacuation routes and emergency service stations to offer timely assistance in the event of a disaster.
Okay, the part 3 is inhabitant analysis. My name is Sitong Deng. I'd like to share with you the story of Yuendumu, a unique and vibrant Aboriginal community in the Northern Territory, Australia. From its establishment to its rich cultural heritage, Yuendumu provides important insights into the resilience and the traditions of Warlpiri and Amateur people. Okay, the first part is population. Yuendumu was founded in 1946 by the native forest branch of the Australian government. It was initially set up to deliver ration and welfare services to the local Aboriginal people, with Francis Magri appointed as the first superintendent. A year later, in 1947, Australian Baptist Home Mission began its work in the area, providing further support to the community. By 1955, many Aboriginal families had settled in the town, established a permanent community. The community is home to the Warlpiri and Amateur people, whose population was recorded as 759 in the 2016 Australian census. Yuendumu is rich in Warlpiri culture, which places a strong emphasis on connections to the land, storytelling, and community-focused living. Traditional knowledge, art, and ceremony remained central to the way of life for the people here, referencing the strong ties to their ancestral heritage. The last part is culture and art. One of the most notable contributions from Yuendumu is the Yuendumu Doors project. In 1982, 5 Warlpiri authors painting the 30 school doors with ancient designs known as kurio. Those designs represent dreamtime stories or jukpar, and the painting were intended to pass down traditional knowledge to the younger generation. And this project sparked the Warlpiri art movement and became a powerful symbol of two-way architecture, blending traditional Aboriginal knowledge with modern schooling. Although the doors were removed during a school upgrade in the middle 1990s, they were preserved and transferred to the Source Australian Museum, while they removed today. This artistic led communities to inspire not just Warlpiri people but also art enthusiasts worldwide. The next part is source of income. Economically, Yuendumu has a diverse base. One of the key activities is art production through the Workland Artists Aboriginal Corporation. This art center is known for its vibrant traditional artwork created primarily by Warlpiri artists. The sales of their artwork, both locally and internationally, is a significant source of income for the community. Okay, this is the creative process and the work. In addition to art, some residents work in local services such as health and education and in community programs like the Yuendumu Women's Center. Those activities contribute to the sustainability of the community, balancing traditional practice with modern needs. However, regions face significant health challenges, many of which will highlight in a longitudinal growth study conduction in the community. Those study revealed that children in Yuendumu suffered from stunted growth and other health problems due to malnutrition and poor sanitation. Those issues were linking to long-standing inadequacies in health services and infrastructure, particularly in remote indigenous communities. Although health first facilities for improved in recent years, many problems present, especially with chronic diseases and malnutrition.
Are serious, measure, and frameworks. I'm going to analyze the two frameworks and compare them at the end. First, that is housing design for health in a challenging climate for roommate indigenous communities in some area of Australia. The authors point out that there are many factors that influence emergency scenario evacuation and management in remote communities. Climate change, understanding of infrastructure, linguistic diversity, government inaction, and weak economic base are the five main causes. Among which the economic base is closely related to the importance of infrastructure, and the language also had the future understanding of that by indigenous people. The article stresses that social, economic, and country factors influence family size, composition, and behavior should be taken into account in the design and implementation of measures. Indigenous people have shown resilience to living in harsh environmental conditions, but are less likely to relocate to other areas due to their historical and cultural ties to the land and the kinship. At the same time, the government has failed to do something about the skill role in remote communities, such as the contributed lack of government investment in social housing. This has led to a low standard of living for the local population, while in defending mobility and overcrowding as indigenous practices that contribute to local housing problems. Therefore, it is important to distinguish between the two. It is important to note that without the participation of local communities, the progress of the entire project will be very difficult. And the current vulnerability of remote indigenous communities stems from the multifactorial prerequisites of trauma and displacement associated with the colonization process. Until the structural causes of inequality are comprehensively addressed, some improvements and decisions may lead to change, but they are unlikely to bring about profound change. Next up is building corrective emergency scenario management capacity in North Australia. The authors points out that the flooding factors had the level of economic development in remote communities. Signs with a high incidence of natural disaster, lack of infrastructure, low socio-economic status, and long-term employment problems. Through a process of consultation and respect for country, researchers and local indigenous communities collaborated to strengthen local emergency response capacities. It is worth mentioning that the authors point out that this classic model of volunteering for emergency service is not suitable for remote communities. but it is still a valuable mission due to the health benefits to governments, due to its low cost and increased access to emergency management for local communities. Through the analysis and comparison, economical and natural factors are the main factors handling the ability of remote communities to improve their ability to respond to the emergency scenario. And the inedible factors seriously influence the quality of life of indigenous people after emergency scenario. Respect for traditional custom is an important prerequisite for the development of activities, and the community participation also plays an important role. Both methods are cost-effective and available, but they do not address the root cause, economic inadequacy, that prevent remote communities from better handling emergency scenario.
That's all. Thank you.